Okay, it's recording. Open discussion, what's up? Alright. Everyone over the rules. I'm on a time constraint, so I don't want to take up too much time.
Can you go rules, no fighting, no...
No,
You're in time constraint. You told us 30 minutes.
well, because I don't want anybody to get mad at me. Alright, so the first topic is dance. Does anybody have anything to say about dance?
Yes, it's fun.
You think it's fun? Anybody that doesn't like dancing?
like dancing. It's expressive. It's cultural.
Any particular dance you like?
Latin,
Salsa?
salsa,
After a career.
hip hop.
I don't
No.
like to dance.
You
Do you know how?
dance?
No, I don't like to dance.
For me to dance, the lights have to be almost completely off.
And a little drunk party?
Aww.
Like I'll slow dance with my wife, but like if I'm at like a wedding or
That's
stuff and they got like
romantic.
fast music or something, I go.
He started...
Do you dance with your fingers?
No,
You like this type of guy?
I just sit down. I'll tap my foot, but that's about it.
I've never seen a man twerk.
That's
How
good.
many of you study dance?
I think not a study, but it's something to be natural. It's like expressing yourself, right?
I did it in high school.
Oh, you didn't?
Study.
Because they have it in schools.
No, I mean,
They have it
it's
in
not like-
community centers.
I mean, I tried. I mean, I'm not a good dancer and I didn't keep up with it.
How do you know?
I see myself doing that,
Got 2 left feet.
yeah.
But you got the internet now, so you can learn easy. But you know what's the best? I think one of the best things to do is when you're in your house, you by yourself, nobody's watching you, put some music and dance by yourself. Just bug out, jump, do that, because it's a form of exercise. I think I dance by myself in the house.
Yeah, it's true. It
Jeff-
also makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Jeff, what kind of dance are you? Are you a one step? Is it called like one step? The one step?
Two step,
Two-step.
all kinds of dance. It's all, I like all types of dances. I have no problem. I like even ballet, I like all different types of dancing and movement.
You tried ballet?
No, I never tried it. I have people, my girl.
You see how his voice changed? I never tried it, but I like it. I like to watch it.
You're into hip hop, so I'm pretty sure that you're into it. You know how to dance. Alright?
Yeah.
Well, you just got the rhythm. You got the rhythm for it, right?
He's modest but direct. I love it. I love it.
I put my kids in dance when they were young. Because in the Bronx they have the Kids Pay Boys and Girls Club. And I was surprised like how much they loved it. They did all kinds of dance, jazz, Latin, tap dancing. And then you went to the shows. And then you see the children able to, when they get older, to bring it into the school environment and then into their lives later on. So my kids go out dancing together. It's kind of fun as a family.
But that's one thing that a lot of families don't do. They go out like dancing to a club together and having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like you see, but I'm saying like back then, like when my father and my mother back on the 40s and the 50s, they would parties every weekend in my house. They even had bands in the weekends,
Yes,
and they have parties.
That's
and
really-
then people will come out to the house. Who the hell is that? Don't worry about it. They don't come inside. There's some chicken there. There's some arroz con pernil. They got this. But people were actually into dancing. You know what I'm saying? It's like with Jewish students to ballroom dancing. You know what I'm saying? Like they love that with a passion.
Yeah.
But now what happens that every day, because there's so many different cultures here in the Bronx, or different kinds of ethnic groups that the children are displayed, they have the ability to learn so much about different things and connect that into dancing. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Back then, these group of people would dance this other people would dance that, and that's the way I look at it.
It was a social thing to do,
Exactly.
right?
It's a
Yeah.
social thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You didn't need television.
So I don't.
Dance change yourself.
Now just watch people dance on TV.
It's so true.
Like dancing with the stars.
So the one rule that I didn't mention, I forgot, I apologize. So if you want my actual opinion, you gotta ask me directly, because my job here is to be the devil's advocate. So I skipped this time, so the next one we're gonna talk about Christmas. Now I'm a single father, but I don't have my kids, I have them every other weekend, so I hate Christmas.
You have kids?
I have 2 kids.
Woo!
Why do you hate Christmas?
Not together.
Well, no, let you guys begin first, and we'll talk about it. So do you guys like Christmas?
I love Christmas.
What do you love about it?
Oh, I just, the whole, I don't know, people call me Miss Santa Claus. That's how much I love it.
Wow.
I just love giving, I love sharing, I love the family getting together. We have a tradition in our family, so I like the tradition that we keep every year. Christmas Eve, we put all the gifts under the tree for the kids when they were young. We still kind of do this stuff even though we're all older, and my kids are older. And we party that night, go to church that night. And in the morning, we stay at Mom's house. Everybody stays at my mom's house. We're sleeping on the floor somewhere, or the sofa, or the bed. And in the morning, we get up on Christmas morning and we open the gifts and we have a brunch. And everybody's in the kitchen cooking something. So you're talking about a big brunch.
Yeah, but so it's
So it's kind
what
of
I
a
hear is
fun
that you're
thing.
cleaning, you're organizing. That sounds like a lot of work.
Oh, but it's so much fun because you're giving and
You're
we put
together,
the cookies
right?
out and the milk for Santa Claus and we're singing. We do charades the night before. It's like a fun
Can I
thing.
come over?
Exactly.
Come on
This
over.
sounds great.
Really?
Jeff, come on.
Yeah, I like Christmas. Yeah, I love Christmas. Family, and just that holiday spirit, and just hoping that got a present what I'm getting for Christmas, and then just seeing your family, seeing your nephew, just seeing your family in general that day, and just sharing that time.
So for my music guys, my music friends here, I like the Chipmunks. Do you guys like something better than the Chipmunks? Is your favorite song?
I like this.
I like Rudolph the Reindeer.
Fred Flintstone Christmas.
Anybody can say Mariah Carey? No? I love that video. I can watch that all day.
I like
On you?
the honeymooners.
Oh my God.
The honeymooners.
So funny.
The honeymooners, and my cousin used to put MASH, which was an army show back then. The MASH.
You mean
Oh, yeah, I
that?
remember.
I heard about that old time show.
That's like the honeymooners, the MASH,
Right.
and that was like the
The
shows.
Twilight Zone
The
marathon?
Twilight
the
Zone,
Twilight
yes,
Zone
for New
also.
Year's,
Or
yeah.
TBS, I think it's TBS always shows a Christmas story
Oh.
every year for 24 hours.
You'll shoot
I've
your
never
eye
seen it.
out.
I've never
You'll
seen the
shoot
whole
your
thing.
eye out.
I've seen like
It's
little parts of it.
It's
No.
okay, but then just for 24 hours. it's like, oh my God.
But
He sticks his tongue on the pole, the broken pole, and he has to, the teacher has to take the ice and you stick him.
And they all leave.
That's the only part I've ever seen. I never watched it.
You have to watch the whole thing
You'll
with the
shoot your
lamp.
eye out, Jay.
Yeah, the fragile, the lamp with the.
Home
I
Alone.
have
Home Alone.
I have
is great.
that as
love
an
that.
ornament.
oh yeah,
I have that as an ornament. The leg. It plugs into the hole. But nice about it, right? This
Fragile.
is Italian. Fragile. It's fragile.
Anybody want to say anything else?
Yeah, I
about
wanted to
Christmas?
say
Why don't you like Christmas?
that
I love Home
Oh,
Alone.
sorry.
that
That's
I wanted
great,
to
Alan.
say because of I like Christmas, and I don't like
Change subject.
Christmas because I was a single parent and I raised both of my kids. My kids are older, and I at one time I was kind of lost out there, as a single parent and also as giving the right example. But after I grew off from that, from all that stuff, and became as a better person, I always try to teach my kids to look around, be around people, positive people that will help them take them to a different level. Just in case there's something will happen to me, stick with church, go to church. You don't like go to church, get involved in something that is positive, that'll keep you around good people, and always pray to God that God forbid something happened to me, that the great people will be around my kids. Now, when my kids got bigger and they left the house, that's when I really started kidding, because now I could not cook for them, I could not do the things that I used to do for them, wash their clothes when they had to go to school, or talk about anything that happened in school, take them to karate school, do those things, so it kind of, even I still get sentimental about it, but I know that I raised two good men. They're very successful at what they do and who they are, and I thank God for those blessings. But there was times that Christmas time that I would really get touchy, because you start remembering when you used to, like she said, she opened the presents and you buy all that stuff. When your kids leave and you're a single parent, you're not going to have that no more. You're by yourself, so what you do now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the way.
The reason I don't like it is because I work 24/7, and in that time frame, people try to remind you, where are your kids? Are you doing this? You went to that party. Of course, I have fun and stuff, but you know, I have to stop and listen to all these things that I don't want to. That's why I don't like Christmas.
But I work too also.
Yeah, but I mean, I work 24/7.
Yeah, but I worked. I put it this way. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning,
What did you
get
say?
ready, go to school, take them to school, right? Then at lunch, when they leave at 3 o'clock, pick them up from my job, okay, take them to karate school, then pick them up from karate school at 7 o'clock, and then go home and get ready to cook, and then to get them ready.
After this, I'm gonna explain what I mean, because I don't mean that.
No, but
yeah,
but
I
you
know
work
what mean.
a lot. That you
Yeah.
work a
Dude,
lot.
especially holidays, right?
No, it's good. No,
Yeah.
fine.
But you work a lot. That's what I thought, right?
No, something. I'll tell you what I mean behind later.
Really didn't want to get too personal, but
Yeah.
you kind of hit a subject that I'm really
I'm glad.
passionate
Thank you
about
for
that,
sharing
you
it.
know what I'm
Appreciate
saying?
it. Now I know. Well, I don't think we stop in like next week or 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So if you're not doing this for Christmas, I'll be happy to hang out with you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So the next topic.
Yeah.
You guys.
Supposed to go to my house, my mom's house.
Your house sounds
And
great.
it's also the day that you celebrate and honor the birth of Jesus, you know?
Yes.
And
Ooh,
so
this
it's
one.
very, and we take pictures as a family, so you can make it a postcard for next year, under your tree. These are kind of fun things to do. We have dogs in our family, so you put the dogs on your tree, you take a picture of the dogs as they get older.
Adeline, do you read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" too? Do you
We
read this
used to do
story?
that when they were young, and we have the book, it's like a traditional old-fashioned book that we have. We do the cookie and they have to write all over the Santa Claus. My grandkids are in Hawaii, so they used to come every year for Christmas, so it was fun, like circling all around them. They're teaching those traditions, like you can create a tradition in your family and just continue. And decorations for the tree, you can make them with the children, and they stay there year after year. You put them up and you see what
You
the
want to
kids
give
have
them that
done.
spirit because they know pass it on to their children.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is the first year in 2 years that I've had or maybe 3 years, I have to put up a tree because I have the kids this holiday week.
Great.
So I'm like, I mean, I got the presents like a month ago, but like the additional stuff, I'm like,
Have them make cookies. The house will smell like cookies, and then they make those cookies for Santa Claus. They have to make ornaments for the tree with a little ribbon and a little hole puncher, and they put their name in glitter. And you could take a picture of them and put it on the tree, so every year you keep it. It's like
It's
fun
kids
things
for
to
you.
do with children.
Yeah,
I got a pasta
I have already like.
Pasta, you do pasta, right?
No, I have
already
one.
planned it.
well, one of the things that,
It's cool when you make the pasta, right?
no.
Yeah, about the pasta ornament you make, or at least I made it in school, and I guess she made it in school too.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you
I have
look like a pasta guy. You look
I
like
have my daughter, she still has it, there's a picture of a heart and her picture, cut out in some folder paper, and she has her picture in the middle, and there's pasta all over it, they put glitter and glue on it, and you keep it until they're old and you can pass it on to their kids.
That's a beautiful
And
story.
you can make a wreath out of a wire hanger and plastic baggies.
Oh, I like that
What's your
one.
favorite food?
I like that one.
What was that?
But you gotta put lights all over your house. You gotta put lights.
You don't even need to do that now. They have
It's too hard.
a light that makes the light.
I thought I invented that last year, I still thought I did.
Oh, I
I
gotta
said
get
to my wife,
that.
I'm like, you know what,
So,
why don't they just make a projector that
If
projects
you
lights
do
on your
what,
house?
if you do lights in your
And I
house,
Googled
besides
it, it's
the
like,
tree, you
damn
gotta
it,
get a lot of
I
lights.
know, I gotta do all that stuff. And
I
I'm
thought
like,
I invented it.
Invite some people over and have a party doing it.
so when I was talking about earlier about working, and we'll talk about this later, but like, so every year I do, I play Santa for like the ACS and stuff like that. So now what I'm gonna do is have my kids tag along with me while I do the Santa stuff. But that's what I mean working all the time. So, does anyone else want to say something about Christmas before we move to the next
Well,
topic?
remember something, I used to, when my kids were like 3 or 4, I used to take them with me to the studios, like I would do a lot of TV shows, and I would take them with them when I was still on the audience.
Oh, that's great, I like that.
So I did a lot, I did like, this Channel 7, I did a bunch of shows, put it that way, but I would take them with me. So they can experience that whole studio and see the cameras, me playing out the show. So they got to experience that. They became musicians and they became good people because, you know, when you have music and you have arts, you know what I'm saying, then you have the science and then after that, and you're good to go.
Oh, I have something else. Sorry. In my building, they always put a tree in the lobby. I don't know if I want to put this on TV, but I always put a sign up, Santa's coming, and we'll take a big bag of stuff that we have in the house, good books, good jewelry that nobody uses, even clothes, tags on it, and we'll stick it under the tree. And there was one year that I couldn't do it because an emergency happened in the family, and I came back and there was a sign, "Where's Santa Claus?" And I had to put a sign up, "Santa's coming late." So the next night I came back and bought a bunch of stuff. So now people in my building are doing the same thing. Like around Christmas Eve, they'll start putting little things under the tree. And you never know what you have that you don't want could be a treasure to somebody else.
Definitely.
So next time I saw all the
One man's
people
trash,
putting
one
books
man's
and
treasure.
magazines and different things under the tree in the lobby. And that's a good way of giving.
You know, it's funny that you say that, but a lot of people are not conscious of that. They say, "Oh, you know what? I'll get something." They might not even care about it. But people are conscious. There's people that need shoes or a coat or something. You know what I'm saying? They'll take it from you.
I don't do clothes because clothes are her
But
thing.
you know,
Unless they're
but I'm saying
brand new.
like, besides the clothes, I'm saying like, just like the books and the toys that you're saying, like stuff like that, you know. Not everybody gets to have toys and
Some people
Christmas.
don't have the opportunities that others have, so it's good to share.
So I don't like to single out a person with a question, but I'm gonna do that.
Because it's me.
Kathleen,
No, of course.
are video games helpful or harmful? What's your opinion on that?
One thing, where are we getting these questions from?
I can't.
They're randomly made from our, I mean, you're being recorded, so if you want to answer the question, I appreciate it.
Yes, and I'm asking also where you got your questions. This is a legit.
Those
question.
are random questions that were picked out
From.
from my podcast, yeah.
Okay, no, it was written by you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. What do I think about video games?
Are they harmful or good? Sorry. Are video games helpful or harmful?
They're not harmful, I don't think. Pretty much, but that could also be my own bias of the fact of that I grew up in a generation of when video games were
That's what
at its, I would say, peak.
So you're saying that video games aren't the downfall of America and making fat kids and lazy?
Yeah.
No, in fact, there are actually some video games that make people lose weight. Pokemon Go, for one, which is an app. Dance Dance Revolution also did that as well. And in all honesty, there's also absolutely no social study that has been done that proves that video games are harmful to children any more than their actual environment.
Wow. So you're saying that instead of dancing in real life, you just can play it on a video game?
If you want to at home, what's the difference between doing that and practicing dance routines in your room?
Anybody else want to know?
I think she's definitely got a point there because, you know, she's just expressed to everybody that, you know, what's the difference between playing a game and dancing at home? You know what I'm saying? Still entertainment.
So nobody thinks that's like being lazy or anything? Like playing,
It can be.
like playing the baseball game or the bowling game? Like
Totally
why not
different.
go outside and actually talk to somebody? They have like little memes that you make and you get an avatar, you can talk to somebody across the country but never meet them or talk to them.
Well, those games are meant to be played with other people in your house. So when you have people over and stuff, it's a social game.
Yeah, but if you never go out and meet anybody because you become one of those introverted, you know,
Everything in moderation, sir.
Exactly.
Everything
With
in
a balance.
moderation.
You
Guess
could be-
what? Too much water? No good for you.
Yeah.
You
gotta
can
have
become
balance.
introverted with books too,
Or TV.
or TV.
Yeah, it could be anything. If people
Or
want to
music.
go that route.
If somebody's
Or
introverted,
dancing.
then yeah, or dancing. I mean,
I think
You
there's
could
nothing
go.
wrong with that,
But
as
there's
long
a-
as they do their chores, they throw out their garbage and whatever they need to do. You wanna kill your time, that's your time. But remember, you still gotta do things around school, I was doing that, then that's fine. But like you said, everything with moderation because, you know, my kids should spend their money 2 or 3 days playing Nintendo games and all that stuff in the house. And you said, these guys are gonna move into my house or what? So I gotta feed these guys too?
By definition, there's a big difference between watching something and doing.
It's an old game, Division.
Yeah, but what about, I mean, we're at a level right now where video games are being
And
used
then,
as training methods
Oh,
for comedians.
oh, like in Marines? Oh, yeah, that's it. Well, there are also video games that are good. I mean, why would you want to show
No, I
a
don't.
kid a game like, what do you call it? It was like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Because they love this, we live in a society that loves violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all these people that are becoming killers, the first defense they have is saying, I watched this killing game and it made me kill people.
Sure.
Yeah, but
They've
they're
been
also
saying that for
cuckoo.
years, though.
Yeah, but they're also
blaming it on
cuckoo,
everything
too.
else.
Most people.
Well, I became a better killer when I look at that game.
Well, he said he's a serial killer, so he's been sharpening his knife
Yeah.
somewhere.
So you something just like the Army's training also people with videos.
If he's come to this country
Oh,
from leaving his past, we are not aware of it. I'm just telling that out there.
remember.
I read an article that video games are being used to help deal with, it's not, it's PS, was that PSTD? Did I say that right?
PTSD.
Yeah, I'm dyslexic, I switched it around. And I read the article and how it helps deal with, there was a couple of, I don't know names or anything, the names were in the article, but basically that a couple of former members of the armed services were saying how that they understand that it's a game, but that's kind of what they feel helps them deal with the situation. It helps them decompress a bit, because while the game is somewhat violent and it's military-based games and first-person shooters and stuff like that, it's like, well, it helps them deal with it because, like I said, that they saying to themselves, this is just a game, this is fake, this isn't real. So I actually, was curious about that, and saying, wow, it's pretty great that, these games are being used to treat stuff like that.
So the very thing that kind of harmed them at one point is actually helping them.
Yeah, well, the game didn't harm them, but the
Not the
fact
game,
that
but
the situations in the game
Yeah,
might,
the same.
yeah.
They can actually do.
I think it's almost like them saying to themselves, this is fake,
Yeah,
and that was real,
yeah.
and they kind of step away from it all.
I have an issue though when some people get totally addicted. And if, let's say you have a father who's addicted to that, they come home from work and they're just playing those games, and the kids are seeing that as a role model. Like Gonzalo was saying, the kids need to get out more. So there should be some kind of system where you say, this is time when you can do this, and like you do your homework, you do your TV time, you do your game time, but this time you do family time and outdoor time. Because if you don't have an equal balance, then the child, when it goes back to school, doesn't have those communication skills with other children, interacting. In the old days, you didn't have games, you had to create things outside. And we don't do table board games anymore, and those are fun as a family.
Yeah, whatever happened to Monopoly?
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, once in a while, we do these board games, like I said, we do charades and stuff like that. Those are fun. If you bring a few board games around, they look at you like, what are you doing? But that makes you interact and makes you think, and you're talking about money, like you said, in Monopoly, you're exchanging, you're learning about property values. These are things that you can do, I know in these games,
You
the
learn
video
about it,
games. But the video game that I like is
Commerce, we need that.
I like the game that you have that, there's one on TV that one of my two daughters have, where you do the exercise while you're watching the game, you stand up and you're jumping up and down.
Like
So-
iFit or something
No,
like that.
yeah,
What's that
the
called?
It's
Twister?
on the Wii.
No,
It's on the
it's-
Wii.
It's
iFit.
on the Wii.
Yeah, it is,
Right.
iFit, they have Zumba type ones.
So that gets them moving and doing some exercise, because you have a good point about, weight and obesity issues, that's a big problem we have.
Once again, I'm the devil advocate, so if you want my opinion, you gotta ask directly. So I wasn't trying to fight with you.
No, this is what you always do. So,
Well,
We know that.
how do you
right?
feel about video games? Are they harmful or helpful?
yeah.
I'm in between everything, so there are good parts and there are bad parts.
There are good parts and bad parts there.
For some people.
Yeah.
It's a very telltale kind of answer. That's not a devil's advocate, that's just,
No, but I'm saying earlier,
that's a Frank's answer.
now you asked my direct opinion, and there's good and there's bad,
But you're a Christmas hater, so how can you
Wow.
be in between?
you know?
He says that until he gets a gift.
Doesn't hate
And all of a
Christmas per
sudden-
se, it's just the fact that you gotta work it all the time.
Knowing that we have peace on earth is the only thing I want.
Oh, God.
I will
It's
say-
America.
I hate when they call it a holiday tree lighting ceremony.
Oh.
I hate that. It's a Christmas tree lighting ceremony. Because
So-
that's what it is.
With the budget cuts soon to be happening, a lot of things are going to be going away, a lot of things are going to be coming up. Now, I'm for Trump taking away these things from the people, but what about you guys?
I'm definitely playing devil's advocate.
Hell no.
That's my job.
You want Trump to take away?
My mom said Obama phone would probably be taken away, that's what, she doesn't use it,
I love
but
Yeah, so do I.
because the Bush presidency brought the Obama phone out. Nobody knew
Really?
about it. It was out way
there.
before, but nobody, it
Yeah,
wasn't
but-
really heavily advertised and
What
heavily.
about that
Bush
lady,
phone
remember?
was-
No, it was an Obama phone.
She's like,
Yeah.
I want an Obama phone, I gotta get an Obama phone. Do you remember that lady? She was standing on the news, oh my god.
and that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
So some of those are gonna be hating a lot more than the people that are working hard to keep that one phone they have on. So go Trump.
You're only talking about a phone though, you're not talking about the other issues at hand, like women's health.
I'm only bringing one. You guys can bring other stuff. Maybe I'm okay. Maybe I'm okay with women having to take care of their own medical needs.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
we
with
just talking.
Oh, you are.
oh yes.
Wow. So I was just,
We were just talking about this
Yeah,
today.
let's mention it.
We were
Oh my
just
god, I was
talking
trying to
about
hide it, I can't.
they're
oh,
gonna
you're
be-
joking.
No, I'm serious.
Oh, no, that's good.
Oh, when people at Planned Parenthood come my way, I'm like, oh, okay now.
There you
We
go.
were just
Close
talking
your
about
legs,
that
that's your form
today.
of birth control. You know what I mean?
See,
Please, you know.
that's the devil's advocate right there.
Yeah, that's more of a downside.
Well, no,
Sorry.
once again, so you weren't here for that part. Opinions, this is open, unfiltered.
Exactly.
So,
I know,
you know,
I worked with you on the phone, I
Exactly.
know.
Yeah, but
so,
a lot of people don't like it. I mean, if you say, you know, it brings independence. A lot of people don't like independence. They want help, you know, whether they need it or not. People want
I think
I
I
want
was
someone else to take responsibility.
Right.
instead of
so,
themselves.
so what I was trying to say,
That's-
what I didn't go into
There's a lot of
details
people
like
who don't
you
have
did
food
was
on the table.
the budget
And
cuts.
how they're gonna feed their kids.
Well-
You got WIC programs that are gonna be cut.
Right.
Yeah.
So how are they gonna feed the infants? Here we have a commercials every minute. Feed the hungry kids, okay? Just $1. So why is that up there on the TV every minute? Because there's a need.
Yeah.
We have a need. We
But-
have pantries with lines around the block where
Yeah.
people don't have food on the table.
But we have to, once we cut some of those things,
And
we force people to do other things. So
Like-
we won't have so
It's
much
not
welfare
working, do
people.
something about it.
You know, we have so many people on welfare because it's so easy to get on welfare. So the point of a
you know
nonprofit,
the welfare, they make them work.
not
They
entirely, not
make them
entirely.
work. They're the ones
Normally,
cleaning
they
up
have
the parks. They're the ones working in city agencies,
That's great.
even from the DOE, from the way back. They would fill the jobs with those
Well, but
people
that's-
working off their
They get
check.
experience.
So don't
Every
think that
part-
they're just getting.
Every part is a percentage
They're
of
learning
those
something.
demographics.
Right, and I think it
I
just
think so.
changes with different presidents, I guess, maybe some.
Now, once again, I'm the devil advocate.
They won't let you.
An executive order can be issued for a lot of things, but that doesn't mean it's the final decision. So when Trump says, you know what, let's stop Planned Parenthood or something like that,
It's gotta be.
I don't think it's completely cut anyway.
It's not gonna be-
It's
no,
lessened, it's
yeah.
lessened.
and
yeah.
so like a nonprofit, and this is what the point I'm trying to get out, a nonprofit is made to be in a Republican type of system. You take care of your own, you take care of your community. Right now we have a socialist, even though it's a democracy, you know,
It's not working.
we have, and we have to start working.
Well, they kind of told
So
it to go
instead
away,
of, if we didn't have Planned
Well,
Parenthood,
you know.
there'd be a difference in balance, and instead of people taking, you know, opening their legs, there'd be a lot more shut.
It's kind of discriminating, it's saying that, but.
I'm sorry.
No, no, it's all right.
But,
It's a legitimate
but
thing to say.
back on the 70s, when you got on welfare, they would go to your house and say, where you got that toaster from? And then you, where did you get that television
They
from?
would make you work there, right?
And they would actually say, listen, do you
You
have a boyfriend,
you aren't
are you dating
allowed to own
somebody?
certain things.
They will
No.
actually know to do that. Okay, so
Oh,
what
you
I'm saying
okay.
is, that could turn something into that, where they
They
send
felt
investigators
that-
to your house, okay, to make sure that you do qualify for what you're applying, and that you really meet that for what you're applying. Because just like I said, a lot of people been taking advantage of the system. You know, I've been part of the system has helped me, you know, like everybody else. But it takes a point where you gotta get up and start doing things for yourself. You know, because what happens with the welfare, this is the way I look at it, is that they send people to clean, do that. This is the kind of people, they see certain people to do that, and okay, that's good and this. But then they have other people that they want to go to school or they want to do things, and what happens is they waste their time.
Or they just sit in the couch or they have that paycheck.
Well, they had people become professional parents and used to have kids.
They have well, that's different, but they have trainings, if you go on a training program, they support them to get training and educated, so so they can get a good job.
Very good.
So that's what they do.
But a lot of people, they start doing that, and out of nowhere, they give up or something happens.
If you do, then you can lose your benefits. There's a ruling about
Well,
that.
when people start driving up in Escalade, welfare, I'm like, really? Maybe I should go on welfare too.
I gotta cut it from
Go ahead, no, this is for
And go back
the
to,
Caucasian girl, let's, okay.
yeah, not racist at all, right?
No, 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 no.
No,
It's the devil advocate.
Mexican.
Ouch, that hurt. Oh, you heard that?
Are you from
She's
Mexico?
against Mexico.
No, he's
not.
Going back to the Planned Parenthood issue, the thing is that it's way too simplistic to say people close your legs, because let's be honest, we're humans, we're not asexual, most of us, and it's not possible. What actually would be better though is that if say, the argument that a lot of people give is that, oh, abortion is abortion, abortion is abortion, that's what Planned Parenthood is doing. That's not the only thing that they do. I mean, they do multiple other issues, mammograms, cancer screenings and whatnot, as well as family planning and birth control.
I heard that they actually didn't do any of that stuff. They actually do late-term abortions, and let me tell you something. I went to visit my friend in Washington, D.C., and I was waiting for her to have an abortion. She called me to get support. Of course, I went. There was a lady who came her 6th month to have an abortion, 6th or 7th month. And I heard the scream from her, and I didn't understand what it was. They killed that kid.
Yeah,
I mean, they had a late-term abortion, and they were, you know what
It's
I mean?
like murder.
They took it out of her, I mean, piece by
It's
piece.
murder.
Yeah, and they just totally, I mean, she walked out of there,
Yeah,
she
right.
was
I don't know what the law
mortified.
is, it depends on the state.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
like
does.
6th or 7th month, and
New
let me
York,
tell
I don't
you,
think you can go
that's why I
that
remember
far.
Planned
no, you
Parenthood.
can't. Well, the thing
Yeah.
is that when I was younger, because I didn't have insurance,
Oh.
I had to go to Planned Parenthood and
Okay.
whatnot. So I know that they do give, especially at least in New York, they give all the other services.
Oh, they do? Okay. I
So
heard that they didn't.
the thing is that though, if you want lesser, say if you want lesser abortions, then you probably should be helping people either at least get sexual education, that's proper sexual education, and not this
Right.
abstinence only, and also providing either inexpensive birth control or just more options of birth control, especially since the fact of the matter is that Viagra is still covered under most insurances compared to birth control. So that's the thing, there's a cause and effect to everything. Everything's a web. So you can't just tell people close your legs. It's not gonna happen.
Now, if you guys don't mind, I apologize. We can go on this subject for hours. Now, because of time constraint, I'm gonna go to the next one.
Go.
Sorry. Now,
Boring.
opinions are opinions, period. So,
Nobody getting into it, nobody
Now-
knows that.
Generic birth control has to be-
Now,
But the federal law says
me
that
personal-
generic birth control has to be-
me personally, I think this is an important topic. I wish I would have picked it, but I didn't. Suicide prevention. Now, obviously, we want people to not do it, but what do people actually do to make a difference?
Not bullies.
Bullies?
Bullies tell people to.
Those
do it.
people don't.
Yeah, those people don't. You talk about prevention?
Bullies. Yeah, suicide prevention.
Suicide prevention, well, that's.
Like, what do they,
Well, what's your idea? What's your opinion? Like, I have 22 hug a day campaign. So I go around asking people for a hug to tell them that I'm trying to show that if you lower your defense and you open yourself up, then you're giving yourself the opportunity for resources, getting to know somebody, etc. Now that's what I do, but it's very hard to ask people for the hug. Now if it wasn't because I'm so good looking, I'm articulate, my dialogue is good, it wouldn't happen.
but of course you are all those.
But I am.
Luckily.
I have with Miss USA, the Deputy Commissioner for
Guy's
LGB,
famous.
etc., etc., etc. Now, would you guys give me a hug at the end of the day?
Sure.
All right.
I hugged
See?
you already.
You see how I do that?
Yeah, see, he already did it.
Now,
Look at the picture.
now, do you guys think enough is being done?
For suicide prevention.
There's millions of dollars being spent, you got hotlines, you got the VA call system, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I think
There should be,
it's not going less, it's not going lower.
but I think it should be like a suicide prevention everywhere where there's people work together, schools, because you never know what a person is thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like some people are bullies, like she says. Other people like to joke on other people's, but you don't know how that guy is feeling inside of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might want to kill you or throw himself out of the roof or something.
I mean, you guys might have thought that I would love Christmas, but no.
It's obviously what I'm saying. You feel lonely.
Yeah.
You don't feel, and then sometimes, you know, I try to help people. My mother taught me that to be always good to people, no matter what. But sometimes you help people. Some people, like, you know, they're like, you know, like they like kind of like
They've been
stand up.
socialized,
They
right?
stand up for that.
They've been
And for me,
socialized.
like I used to get offended of that, but I don't get offended because I don't know what that person's going through, what he's going through. Like, so I accept that as a form of defense from that person. You know what I'm saying? But it should be everywhere, because you never know when it happens anywhere. It happens in school, it happens in job, the post office back then. They were people working in the post office, killing, going through kind of
Yeah, those stories, on posters.
on the army, also
Yeah.
the abuse.
So what I told the deputy commissioner, I was like, you know, we talk about military veteran, when we see PTSD, everybody's always assuming, you know, military. NYPD goes just as much,
Oh, yeah.
and they
that's
have their
good.
own psychologists at every department, yada yada. And then you hear all these constantly abusive. Maybe that's why they're abusive, you know. But that's just me now. As a devil advocate, I think we're doing enough. I think we're doing a great job. The problem is getting the resource to the individual. That's the disconnect.
I think it's more of being proactive versus being reactive. You know, same thing with guns. All of a sudden there's a mass shooting, there's a big spike and everyone wants gun control. And then after a couple of weeks or a month or two,
They're over.
it dies down again. I'm not downplaying it. That's not what I'm trying to say, but I just think that, you know, you made a point about you can't, it's hard to read people, but I think, I'm not going to put it onto teachers because they have a lot of stuff on their plate, but you can notice when an individual is acting different, when an individual is now pulled back and they're no longer open and playful and all that, and they're withdrawn. It's tough because, yeah, you may not want to get involved in their life, but you might feel responsible to do it. So instead of sitting and waiting and being reactive to a situation, I think they should be more proactive. So the same thing in a business sense, your supervisor or your boss should not micromanage you, but should be paying attention more to,
Behavior.
wow, so, you know, Dave is a very talkative worker and he does a great job, but I notice now he's not talking as much and he seems to give me just yes or no answers. There's something bothering him. I should find out that, you know, what's bothering him, maybe I can help. Not so, oh, you know, your production needs to be better, I'm gonna fire you. Because then that starts
Trigger
to
up.
spiral down. So I just think being more proactive instead of reactive.
But what about when you have a person of authority that's like that, out of control? Then how you?
There's always somebody higher than you. There's always somebody above that person, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're the owner, even if you're the owner of the company, you're answering to what? You know, federal government or
So,
something. There's always somebody.
There's somebody. But
answering.
imagine if you're not that level, you're not like you're the one of the privates or one of this, and do you make somebody aware, somebody higher so they can talk to them?
I think stuff like this open dialogue, that's where I try to bring those type of topics, because it's always the two different views in different ways and different people.
The reason-
That guy in the bottom might be looking up, and he's like, well, if I say something, I'm gonna get in trouble, or I'm embarrassed.
The reason that I say that is because one time I seen a supervisor on the welfare that she was flipping and she was drinking also. She was drinking on this island, but you can tell there's something really cookie was going on with her. And the way she was treating people, this lady came up to her because I was there, and she went and told this lady just like that, listen, you know what, nobody told you to open your legs. You know what I'm saying? That's your problem. You should have never done that. Okay, don't come over here trying to think that we gotta give you stuff away like that. Okay, and the lady looks at her like, listen, why can't you talk to me like that? Listen, you don't like it, you can leave.
so she needs to be spoken to, not that reprimanded.
Yeah.
Because a lot of
Who's a
times, Matt,
supervisor?
there's somebody above that person, all right?
I like to take this to a different level. There's people sometimes in your own family that you may see a shift in their behavior or how they're responding. And then there's people that will come around you that will even indicate that they have thoughts of that. What do you do in that situation? And there's organizations out there that support families that people don't know about, so it's an awareness. Like there's a National Association for Mental Illness, and they give trainings to support family members on how to deal with family members that may have mental illness, because to just ignore it, you cannot. And actually legally, if somebody tells you they're thinking about it, you legally have to report that because they need some support. And there's so many programs out there, like he was saying, that are helping the people and supporting them, I think, more than we think. But if we don't reach out for help, like you said, you would go to your organization, maybe there's a human relations department, and you would speak privately. Like I just want to indicate I have a concern. And if you have a family concern, you would reach out to someplace like NAMI and say, where do I get better educated on what to do with a family member that's displaying some kids are in college and they're so stressed out. And they just go within and you go, something's wrong. And you talk to them, see what they're feeling. And let me tell you, we talked about Christmas. Holidays, Christmas and Thanksgiving are the
Biggest
worst
suicide
times
rates.
because they think about suicide at that time. That's the time to really talk to people.
Actually, the CDC has reported, and it's the CDC, so I'm not taking a personal thing. The CDC has reported that it's actually not in those time periods, the holiday season, that is most prevalent. It's in between those time periods.
In between.
Now, because of time constraint,
What do you mean by in between? Like in between Christmas and Thanksgiving, or
Like
just
the-
August,
Coming-
like
coming
those
up.
time
Coming on
frames,
to
like
that
let's say
time.
summer and stuff
Right
like that.
before.
Because everybody's, and this is the word for word
Yeah,
what they
it's
said,
true.
was that because they see an openness, but they're not a part of it, that's where it rises.
Also, when families not together, they're more prone to
Yeah,
have those
stuff
kind
like
of
that,
thoughts.
so.
And
That's
depending on where you
interesting
live.
feedback, you know, for you
And,
to look
yeah,
at
and
that.
once again, the suicide, the only reason I know that stuff is because I spent the last 3 years trying to fight it. So this 22 hub thing is like my last way of saying, we have to do something.
Gonzalo, what about,
No, go ahead.
no, that also depends on where you live, like in Seattle, like climates where it's always dark, like last,
Raining.
high rate of suicide. Seasonal, yes.
That's a question she would say to me,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, I understand this scientific things to everything, but
To that, but also
you got the
like,
rainy theory, you got all the stuff like that.
that's
Like,
because everything's multidimensional, but even going on that, the thing is that, as you mentioned, there are programs and services out there, like when it comes to the military, when it comes to the NYPD and whatnot, they're honestly making themselves fail at that. Why? Because one, you go and you say, hey, I got a problem, I'm not feeling good. They basically treat you like crap.
Yeah.
They treat you like shit.
Yeah, right,
You might get demoted. You might not. They might kick you out. So essentially, like even the VA and whatnot, or the military say, we're trying to combat this. Yes, you're trying to combat it, but you're also sabotaging your own programs.
Now, once again, I want to thank everybody for participating. I appreciate
We're
it.
done?
And we're done. So thank you.
What's the food?
Yeah, where's the food?
Anything less than 2 hours, I don't provide food.
Yeah.
No, and that's a serious one.
I gotta go to work.
So, that being said, let's just take a picture and then
Now, how are we
everybody
gonna
can-
get a copy of this?
I will send it to you.